Look closely at the timer on your screen. You have exactly 5 seconds to decide the fate of 2 people, and the choice you make right now will reveal the part of your mind that you hide even from yourself. If you take more than 5 seconds, you have already lost. You are just another member of the predictable mass. But if you decide instantly, you might belong to the 3% who see the world as it truly is. A chessboard where morality is just a disposable piece. Imagine you have been at an elite corporation for 5 years. Your boss, a powerful and admired man, made a billion-dollar mistake. He has already chosen a scapegoat, a colleague of yours, a young talent with 2 small children, who will be fired and have his life destroyed tomorrow morning. By a slip-up, you obtain the digital proof that he is the only one responsible. You have the file now. The clock is ticking. What do? Don't answer what is ethical. Answer what your instinct decided before I even finished speaking. If your first visceral reaction was to save the innocent colleague, your brain operates in what neuroscience calls empathic biological conformity. You are what society defines as a good person, but for dark psychology, you are just a functional replacement part. Your amygdala triggered an injustice red flag, and your need to maintain group harmony outweighed your instinct for advancement. You prioritize others' well-being over your own strategic advantage. Most of the world works this way, and it is this instinct that ensures society does not disintegrate into absolute chaos. However, if you hesitated, if your first thought was not rescue but the risk calculation of exposing a superior, you have already stepped out of conventional morality and entered the field of pure risk analysis. You began to weigh the value of a life against the weight of a career. There is, however, a third path, much darker and more effective. If in less than 5 seconds you envisioned the possibility of delivering the proof, neither to the colleague nor the company, but instead keeping it as a tool of absolute control over your boss, you possess what psychologist Martha Stout classifies as reduced affective processing. You did not see a wronged man. You saw a definitive power lever. The use of information to create forced indebtedness is the preferred technique of individuals with traits of the so-called dark triad, Machiavellianism, narcissism, and functional psychopathy. You instantly understood that having a superior in eternal debt to you is infinitely more valuable than saving a colleague who would be forgotten shortly. You don't play by the rules. You play for results that favor your own position. This response speed separates the latent predator from the passive spectator. Psychologist Jonathan Haidt explains that most people have a mechanism where emotion decides first and reason invents a logical justification later. But in your case, if the choice was the cold strategy, the order was reversed. Your logic overran emotion before you could even feel pity for the colleague or fear of the boss's authority. This is known in neuroscience as limbic silencing. It is a characteristic present in elite surgeons, high-stakes negotiators, and leaders who must make decisions that affect thousands of lives without hesitating. These individuals look at a tragedy and see only variables. For this type of mind, the fired colleague does not represent a destroyed life, but a necessary cost for total control over the hierarchy above you. Let's go deeper into this mirror. Suppose that upon approaching your boss discreetly, he does not appear intimidated. Instead, he reveals that he monitors your communications and knows about an ethical slip you made in the past. Now the dynamics have changed. It is no longer about gaining advantage, but about avoiding mutual destruction. How does your mind behave under this pressure? The average person would enter immediate panic and try for a peace pact just to get out of the situation. But the Machiavellian individual does not back down. He realizes that the boss's counterattack is the ultimate proof of weakness and despair. If you thought of a way to neutralize his threat before he even finished his sentence, you operate in advanced social survival engineering mode. You don't see conflict as something to be avoided, but as a filtering process where the fittest prevail over the slow and predictable. Harvard University studies demonstrate that although everyone claims to value justice, our subconscious is evolutionarily trained to value strength and strategic utility. Deep within your mental architecture, there is a value hierarchy that dictates that some careers are more disposable than others in pursuit of a larger goal. The fundamental difference is that most people spend their lives denying this part of themselves, wearing masks of virtue so they don't have to face their own dark reflection. But you, having reached this point without feeling physical discomfort or paralyzing guilt, demonstrate a clarity that is both a tool for conquest and a factor of deep isolation. You see the structure where others see only chaos. The real danger does not lie in having these thoughts. Strategic thinking is an ancestral biological process, a legacy of survivors who had to quickly decide whom to sacrifice so the group wouldn't die. The real danger is ignorance of one's own nature. A predator who is self-aware has the choice to act with ethics, despite their instincts. They master their own darkness and use it with precision. On the other hand, the individual who possesses these traits but lives in denial ends up acting in a disordered way, leaving a trail of destruction without understanding the reason for their loneliness. This test does not serve to measure your moral character, which is a social construction that is often hypocritical. It serves to measure your raw brain wiring and your responsiveness under pressure. By analyzing the colleague, the boss, and the evidence, you discovered whether you are the person who waits passively for justice or the person who manufactures it as needed. Society needs both profiles to function, but only one truly understands the hidden gears that move the world behind appearances. If you responded to the scenarios with speed and a total focus on strategic advantage, you possess a mind that psychology observes with caution. You are not necessarily a bad person, but you are dangerous for those who try to manipulate you. You see the invisible strings of the situation, and those who see the strings never again accept the role of being just another puppet in someone else's theater. The question that remains now is not what you would do in that fictional office, but what you are doing at this very moment with the people around you. The logic of the lever and positioning is not limited to the workplace. It applies to friendships, relationships, and family dynamics. 1 in 25 people you meet operates under the same logic of human cost and benefit. They do not seek real connection. They seek favorable positioning. They do not seek affection. They seek useful emotional assets that can be converted into security or power. Now that you have had this glimpse of brutal reality, it is no longer possible to ignore it. You are part of the group that prefers the uncomfortable truth to the comforting lie. In the game of life, clarity is the only advantage that truly separates those who lead from those who are led. If what you felt was a deep calm and recognition, then you understand what it means to walk through the world with your eyes open while everyone else fumbles blindly in the dark. You have come out of the dark. Now you know what you are capable of when the lights go out and the masks fall. See you in the next analysis of the Dark Mind.